and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Yeah, there's crazy history behind this song. I don't think I'll ever listen to this song because it's just going to.
I'm so sad.
Oh.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be checking out a recommendation from TC, the musical story of Eva Cassidy. So guys, let's dive right into the video today.
Think of Judy Garland's Over the Rainbow. The Recording Industry Association named it the #1 song of the 20th century. Since Judy Garland first sang it in The Wizard of Oz, the Oscar-winning classic has been identified with her and her alone, until now. For the last year or so, radio stations in England have played another version of the song. This spring, the album hit #1 on the British pop charts. The artist is an American singer who died in obscurity nearly 5 years ago. She performed at small clubs and sold tapes of her music from the trunk of her car. Her name is Eva Cassidy. She was painfully shy, not at all glamorous, and much to the frustration of record company executives, impossible to pigeonhole. Pop tunes, blues, jazz, gospel, she sang whatever moved her. In an era of brightly packaged stars, think Britney Spears, Eva Cassidy was the polar opposite. Indeed, she never knew fame. That is coming only now, years after she died in the prime of her life. And her version of Over the Rainbow, see if it doesn't give you goosebumps. For my colleague Dave Marish, Nightline's resident jazz and blues enthusiast, putting together the Eva Cassidy story has been a labor of love.
I see trees that are green, red roses too. I watch them bloom.
What the voice?
For me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Should have sang this song.
I think he did a cover of it.
Eva Cassidy left this world in November 1996, leaving behind.
When I heard the name Eva Cassidy, I know that name sounded familiar, but I could not really when you can't pinpoint where you've heard that name. And this song was one of my most loved,
This song is like
favorite song in the whole wide world. And I can't believe that this song did not get the attention it needed while she was alive.
Well, I'm still trying to put the pieces together. Is she the artist that sang this song, or she made a cover of this song?
Is it a cover they said?
Yeah, I think he said about the cover, right?
I didn't really no, I don't think he said.
But when she started singing, I just had to utter what a voice.
Yeah, her voice is...
It's pure.
It's remarkable.
Like you can literally hear a pin drop while
Well,
she
it's
sings.
painful that it is only after her.
Yes, that she was really glorified
It
for.
breaks my heart.
Behind a small group of fans in the Washington, D.C. area and 2 locally produced CDs.
And they'll learn much more.
Beyond those narrow boundaries, though, when the singer died at the age of 33, her name was all but unknown, her music all but unheard.
Oh, what a wonderful world.
I think it was from her that they did covers
We were seated next to each other.
for the song.
'Cause there's no hiding place from
Ever since I could remember her, she loved jazz and blues.
people get ready. There's a train a-coming.
Jazz, blues, folk, rock, and gospel were all major sources of Eva Cassidy's repertoire. But so were classic laments and ballads from American popular music, one song above all.
I'll sing this one.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow just was one of our favorites. When I say our, I mean her groupies that always followed her wherever she went.
You'll find me.
She would nail those notes. She sang it so beautifully. There were always tears in the eyes of the audience.
The rainbow.
So it was to be, almost 2 years after her death. In a country an ocean away from her home, that Over the Rainbow moved Eva Cassidy from obscurity to the spotlight.
A friend of mine brought the record to me in the office.
Paul Walters is a producer for a popular morning show on the BBC's Radio 2.
I said, oh, fine, okay, put it in the pile. I'll get to it later. And he said, no, I'd like you to listen to it now. So I had a listen to it, and I was absolutely stunned. Suddenly there was a song that had a voice that stood out a million miles above all the rest. Stopped me in my tracks. I thought, I've got to play this. We've got to have this in the programme.
It's the wonderful Eva Cassidy, and Paulie Walters gets a great deal of the credit for discovering her enormous talent.
Terry Wogan is Radio 2's morning star. He played Eva Cassidy's recording of Over the Rainbow unheard on Paul Walters' Say So.
But he said, okay, fine, we'll have that next, and we put it on. And he was absolutely amazed as well, stunned. And at the end of the record, to our audience of very nearly 7 million people every day, he said, isn't that just the most amazing thing you've ever heard?
But that's something to listen to. You just want to
Keep listening.
I wanted to hear something like that.
Oh, I
The first time I heard Eva Cassidy was, like a lot of people in this country, I think, through the Terry Wogan show on Radio 2.
The best in pop and rock from the last.
Mark Hagan produces BBC Television's weekly music show, Top of the Pops 2.
Heard the record, loved it, got the record. I thought, this would be a fabulous person to show on television.
Unfortunately, Hagan thought, there is no videotape of Eva. Until almost 2 years later, he found and broadcast this homemade video of Eva singing Over the Rainbow at Washington's
This
Blues
is just
Hour.
an homemade
On the
video.
programme on the 13th of December, I think it was, in 2000. And as soon as the programme came off air, the switchboard was jammed, and this went on and on and on. 6 weeks later, I was still getting calls. I thought, well, perhaps I should show it again.
I wish upon a star.
So I put it on Top of the Pops 2 again, the same reaction again, but even more so. And that's still going on today.
This spring, Eva Cassidy's CD Songbird with Over the Rainbow on it was the #1 selling popular album in the United Kingdom. For several weeks, Eva had as many as 5 CDs listed in the British Top 150 for pop albums, an achievement of Beatles or Rolling Stones proportions. As her Rediscovery has bounced back to the American side of the Atlantic, CD sales here have taken off. Songbird has passed 200,000, and Eva's total U.S. CD sales are close to 500,000.
She was afraid then what fame would do to her. She was really kind of afraid of it. And I have to kind of laugh because this is the way I think Eva would have loved it. Everybody else does the talking for her. All she does is sing.
Cooking with the big gas flame. Hey!
Thank you, Marion.
It's true.
Eva was afraid to get on stage, and she knew she needed to improve her ability, her shyness, her assertiveness, her stage presence, and she knew she needed to do some solo gigs.
People get ready. There's a train coming.
Eva was soon singing regularly in small clubs thinking about recording, which is what took her to the studio run by Chris Biondo. And even there, Eva was at first mic shy.
She wouldn't come in, and she just kind of stood in the shadows, and I thought there was something wrong with her, that she wasn't, you know, a singer, just somebody who was coming by to, you know, try to sing. And she went in and just blew me away right away. Everything she sang from the minute I turned on the mic to when she left was amazing.
Also left amazed when Chris played Eva's tape was Chuck Brown, a DC legend in go-go and soul music.
I hear this beautiful, mellow voice coming out of this tape. It just took me right out from the very beginning.
Soon, Chuck and Eva were collaborating, and Chuck says this young white girl was not only inspiring him, but teaching him to sing jazz.
Wow.
A legend saying that.
We talked and made arrangements to start doing something. We picked a few tunes. She was very, very stylistic in her own way, and very precise on her tone and her melody. Very melodic, the way she strays away from the melody, comes back to it. And all of this just fascinated me, you know. Of course, I never tried to do none of that.
Shy Eva loved singing with Chuck. She could hide behind his showmanship on stage and ride behind his reputation to bigger and better bookings, like Washington's venerated jazz club, Blues Alley.
Let's give a big Blues Alley welcome to Miss Eva Cassidy.
The club has been here almost 40 years, and we've been blessed with hearing almost all the great names in jazz as singers over the years. A lot of the staff has been here a long time, so they're not easily swayed.
Heaven, I'm in heaven.
The first night, first song, when she started singing, I noticed the staff all stopping in their tracks and looking at the stage and looking at one another. And we both, all of us thought at that time, wow, this is something.
When we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, heaven.
With Eva now on the pop charts in the UK and popping up in People and other major magazines and on network TV in the States, Ralph Camilli remembers the girl with no stage patter, no stage presence, who dressed like she was going for a hike.
I'm sure if she were alive and having this notoriety now, we'd be joking right here at this table about how she would be driving the execs crazy about, move a little more, Eva. Why don't you wear this, Eva? I mean, she wasn't that way and wouldn't have been that way, and I don't know that they would have known what to make of her.
Among the fields of barley, you can tell the sun in his jealous sky. When we walked in fields of gold.
As I say, you listen to the music, you look at the pictures, you get the feeling of just, you know, lighter than air and more delicate than chiffon, not the complete picture.
Just the opposite. She was tough, very tough. Tough in her mind and tough in her body. You know, she worked for years at a nursery and was extraordinarily strong.
Will you stay with me?
Eva applied all that toughness and all that stubbornness when it came to selecting her song list, says her pianist, Lenny Williams.
I know she had to emotionally connect with the lyrics to sing the song. That was a prerequisite. I mean, she had to like it musically, but a lot of times the message of the song, the lyrics, was the make or break thing. You know, if she didn't really connect with it, she wasn't going to do it.
That Eva enjoyed and insisted on singing jazz and pop, folk, and gospel songs drove record companies crazy.
This sounds like a South African gospel song.
This guy, I can't even remember the record company he came from. He came down and sat there and watched her sing and looked at her and said, what do you want to do? And she looked at him and said, Pretty much anything. He goes, well, what do you want to do? Tell me the kind of, the style you want to go for. And she goes, pretty much anything but that pop crap. That we never heard from him again.
Very versatile.
Yeah.
One record company guy who kept coming back was Bruce Lundvall, the head of the top jazz label, Blue Note.
I got a call from a fellow, so he brought her to my office, but he didn't have anything to play, so she stood in the middle of the room and sang Amazing Grace. And it was just chilling.
Amazing was the right word.
Oh my Lord. And I said, oh my God, what a voice, what an extraordinary voice, And that was the beginning.
Lundvall tried pairing Eva with a Philadelphia band, Pieces of a Dream, but the music didn't work. So he asked Eva, what are the songs that work for you?
They were all over the place. There was a gospel piece, there was a country song, there was a standard, Over the Rainbow, etc. I said, well, the voice is just spectacular. But we're a jazz label. Had she been willing to make just a jazz record, we would have done it probably right away without question, but that wasn't her nature.
Blue Note decided not to offer Eva Cassidy a contract.
That I made a mistake, and a serious one, because she was a great, great talent.
Lundvall had little time to realize his error. In the spring of 1996, just months after her Blues Alley date had been turned into a CD, Eva started walking with a cane because of persistent pain in her hip. The cause was cancer. She was given just months to live. Bruce Lundvall heard the bad news and called.
Her mom let me speak to her. And I asked her to forgive me for not signing her. And I couldn't hold it. I couldn't contain myself. It was one of the most difficult moments I've ever had. And she said, no, it's okay. We were together.
Eva's friends threw a benefit for her at a club called the Bayou. Her parents, Barbara and Hugh, remember Eva rising to the occasion.
She saw all these people and, they had come out to see her, and she was just totally amazed that they would all show up, all of her good friends, and so many people donated their services and their talents.
And then the honoree moved to the microphone.
Well, she made her way up on stage, had some help getting up onto a stool, picked up her guitar, looked out at the people in the audience. The love, it was all love. Of course, everybody's crying. Mm-hmm. She announced that she had just taken a huge dose of morphine so she could handle this. It was the last time she sang in public.
And what did she sing?
I see trees that are green.
Oh, that was when she sang that song?
There she was performing and singing It's a Wonderful World, and there wasn't a dry eye in this place. It was just really incredible.
For me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Yeah, there's crazy history behind this song. I don't think I'll ever listen to this song because it's just good.
I'm so sad.
Oh.
It was more than the medicine that got her up there. I mean, she was very high on getting up there and doing the tete-a-tete with the audience and singing that song.
But they're really saying, I love you.
6 weeks later, she was dead. So many of Eva Cassidy's favorite songs, Over the Rainbow, Bridge Over Troubled Water, People Get Ready, were about how it isn't over when it's over, that death doesn't always get the last word. It turns out that wasn't just her songs, it was her story.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
What a wonderful world. I'm Dave Marish for Nightline in Washington.
What a wonderful world.
actually, even though it was cut short.
Very short. It just felt like an angel that the Lord sent to the world to come and spy and say, just go and see how the world looks like, and then you come back to me. That's just how our life is, so short.
I knew right from time that this song has always meant something to me. Like I told you guys earlier, this was my most favorite song, and I didn't even really know that she who sang it was already no longer in this world. You understand? But knowing this part of this song, it deepens that connection I have with this song, because it's so weird that even on her dying breath, that she took so many morphines just to be able to sing that song. I know so many people are saying that I feel like I was part of her life, because to be frank, before I saw this video, I have loved her song. So,
but you didn't know that she
yeah, I didn't know.
Song.
Like I had no idea.
In fact, this song has so many covers. There's so many covers to it. I think there's one I listened to. It was actually a male voice that covered the song. Wow. Honestly, this is very emotional.
Yeah,
thank you.
lost of words.
Yeah, thank you, TC, for.
Sorry, before I want to check something. Sorry, forgive me. I want to. Sorry, I'm so sorry, guys. I just want to get something off my chest. The song that they titled Rainbow, I actually wanted to check it out. So before I forget it, I'm so sorry. You can continue, please. I just wanted to get the song now that I'm here so that I don't forget.
To listen later. Thank you, TC, for recommending this song to me. And see you guys in our next reaction. For now, bye and stay blessed. Subscribe.